The summer of 1971 was a period of great social and political turmoil in the United States. The country was still grappling with the aftermath of the 1960s, marked by civil rights struggles, anti-war protests, and a growing counterculture movement. In this context, psychological experiments aimed at understanding human behavior under stress and authority were particularly resonant. The Stanford Prison Experiment, led by Dr. Philip Zimbardo, was not merely a study but a vivid demonstration of how easily ordinary people could descend into brutality given the right, or rather, wrong circumstances. It aimed to probe the depths of human nature and question the ethical boundaries of scientific inquiry. To understand the scope of the Stanford Prison Experiment, one must first appreciate the broader academic and political environment of the early 1970s. The Vietnam War was at its peak, and protests against the war and in favor of civil rights were common. The U.S. Office of Naval Research funded this experiment, hoping to gain insights into the psychological effects of imprisonment, which could be useful for understanding the behavior of prisoners of war and military personnel under duress. Dr. Philip Zimbardo, already a respected psychologist, was inspired by the earlier Milgram obedience study, which revealed the disturbing extent to which individuals would follow authority figures. Zimbardo aimed to extend these findings by examining not just obedience, but the transformation of identity and morality in a prison setting. The arrest procedures were meticulously designed to add authenticity and shock value. Students chosen as prisoners experienced a surreal journey beginning with their unexpected arrests by real police officers at their homes. This unexpected twist immediately stripped them of their familiar reality, plunging them into a disorienting and dehumanizing experience. Upon arrival at the simulated prison, they underwent procedures mirroring actual prison intakes, including stripping, delousing, and being issued prison uniforms. The clothing, a smock with no undergarments and a nylon stocking cap, was intended to emasculate and depersonalize them, reinforcing their new status as prisoners. This stripping away of identity was a crucial component of the experiment, setting the stage for the power dynamics to unfold. The rebellion on the second day of the experiment was not just an act of defiance but a significant turning point that highlighted the prisoners' desperation and the escalating tension. The guards' response was equally telling. They didn't just suppress the rebellion, they intensified their control and cruelty. This escalation included not only physical deprivation, but also psychological tactics, such as isolating ringleaders and fostering mistrust among prisoners through rumors of informants. The use of fire extinguishers to regain control was a vivid demonstration of how the guards began to employ increasingly harsh methods to maintain dominance. This shift marked the beginning of a deeper psychological breakdown among the prisoners. Douglas Corpy, known as prisoner Cha-8612, played a pivotal role in the experiment's trajectory. His breakdown, whether real or feigned, illustrated the immense psychological pressure the prisoners were under. Corpy's initial placement in solitary confinement for his leadership in the rebellion subjected him to severe isolation, amplifying his stress and sense of helplessness. His conflicting accounts post-experiment reveal the complexity of his experience and underscore the difficulty in distinguishing genuine psychological distress from strategic manipulation. This incident not only exposed the fragility of the human psyche under duress, but also questioned the ethical limits of the study. Dave Eshelman's transformation into John Wayne was a chilling embodiment of the experiment's central hypothesis, that situational forces could profoundly alter behavior. Eshelman's deliberate adoption of a sadistic persona was influenced by cultural archetypes of authority and cruelty, exemplified by the character in Cool Hand Luke. His actions were extreme, but his rationalization, that he was trying to provoke significant behavior changes for the sake of the experiment, added a layer of complexity. His behavior was a stark illustration of how the lack of oversight and accountability can lead individuals to embrace roles and behaviors that they might never consider in their everyday lives. The cumulative psychological toll of the experiment became undeniably clear as more prisoners exhibited severe distress. The case of prisoner Junor 819, who was reduced to tears and then further humiliated by his peers under guard coercion, highlighted the depth of the emotional trauma inflicted. This incident demonstrated not only the effectiveness of psychological manipulation, but also the group dynamics that can perpetuate cruelty. Prisoner on 416's subsequent hunger strike was a final act of defiance that underscored the moral and ethical breakdown within the simulated prison. The guards' punitive response, throwing him into solitary confinement, reflected their complete loss of empathy and ethical boundaries. The abrupt end of the Stanford Prison Experiment, precipitated by Christina Maslach's intervention, marked a critical moment of ethical reckoning. Maslach's perspective as an outsider and Zimbardo's then-girlfriend provided a much-needed reality check. Her horror at the conditions and her confrontation with Zimbardo forced him to recognize the inhumane environment he had allowed to flourish. The subsequent scrutiny of the experiment revealed not only the extreme behaviors it elicited, but also the profound ethical lapses in its execution. The comparisons drawn to the Abu Ghraib scandal decades later underscored the experiment's enduring relevance and the ongoing debate about the balance between scientific inquiry and ethical responsibility. The Stanford Prison Experiment remains a stark reminder of the dark potential within human nature when placed in dehumanizing and authoritative contexts. It challenges us to consider how environments and systems shape behavior, often leading ordinary individuals to commit extraordinary acts of cruelty. The ethical debates it sparked continue to influence psychological research protocols and highlight the need for stringent ethical standards to protect participants. This experiment's legacy is a powerful testament to the necessity of vigilance in any study involving human subjects, ensuring that the pursuit of knowledge never overshadows the imperative of human dignity. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the Stanford Prison Experiment. This experiment's legacy continues to stir intense debate and reflection within the fields of psychology, ethics, and human behavior. It serves as a powerful reminder of how ordinary people can be influenced by situational forces to act in unimaginable ways. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the Stanford Prison Experiment. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon so you never miss an update from our channel. We have more fascinating stories and deep dives into historical psychological experiments coming your way. Also, check out our other videos for more intriguing content on the human mind and behavior. Links to those are right here on the screen. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the depths of human nature. Thanks for watching.